see the people on the side of the table across from Marshall, just so you know.
Oh, well, come on over here. Just bunch together so you can see us.
Okay, if you fill in those 2 chairs next to Marshall, then I'll be.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have myself and Natalie and Russell and Marie and Margie.
Great.
Okay, so now the first thing we want to do is prove the minutes. Were there any changes or corrections? I didn't see any.
They look good to me.
All right, we'll take a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
I
Aye.
Hi.
All those opposed? No. No abstentions? That's unanimously. Okay, public communications. I have none. Do you have any, Natalie?
I don't.
Okay.
Marshall, I assume staff, do you have any public communications?
not at this point, no.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll go right to you and staff report.
Housing rehabilitation update. I believe that's the first on the agenda. Last time we met in March, there was 7 out of 10 that was approved for work. An update there, we have an 8th project that we have approved. So that 8 projects, when I say projects, I mean homes, are currently going under work in progress.
Okay.
The account balance, I think I noted that we wanted to start including, some financial numbers to everything here. The balance as of beginning of this year, so beginning of 2024, was $327,841. And the account balance at the end of April of this year was at $284,790. We also received the loan payment. So this is a revolving loan program. So once someone sells their home or transfers ownership, they pay back that loan. We received one loan payment in this period that was $17,133.
Okay, so there's a good amount of money still available in this program.
Well, I wouldn't say available. So of the 8 approved, the funds aren't used yet for that 8. Remember, if we estimate how much each home work will cost, it's estimated about $35,000 each. So of that 8, they are, which is what I'm going to get into next. So of the 8, 2 of those projects above 90% complete. 3 we have completed bidding or bid opening for those 3. So work has not started for the 3, but we've sent out bid packets and received interested contractors have applied for that, and so we have some form of estimate for the 3 how much that will cost. Then again, it's construction, so you don't know. Could be more, could be less than what the estimates have come in to be. Then the other 3 are still in the environmental review phase. So that's that initial phase within the project, going over paperwork, state requirements, and other insurance accommodations we need to make before work is started on this project. So of the 6 of them have not started work, but they are moving along, going towards. And then once work is started, then that's when we'll start seeing invoicing and kind of payment. That number will start going down there.
I have a question. That $17,133 repayment from one loan, is that included in the $284,790? Okay.
Yeah. So again, yeah, as you see it.
It's a revolving.
Yeah.
It goes up, it goes down. Kind of like my check.
Okay, so when you say there's 285,000 available, but that amount of money has to cover these 8 projects that have been approved. I gotcha. Okay, so that would use, could be as much as 240, 250,000.
Just gonna say 240, yeah.
of-
So I did put some numbers together, and so of the 8, the 5 that we've had bids for and kind of got a more solid estimate for, if you take that estimate for the 5 of the 8, my numbers are 187,900
Okay,
for the 5 of the 8. So and then the 3, like I said, they are still in that initial phase in the process, and so we have not received any bids for those 3 yet. So
okay,
that number will go up based on those 3.
Okay.
perfect. Thank you. Now I understand.
And then we do still have the 4 on the wait list. They are under initial review. We have not finalized or approved or denied them at this point. A big part of that is we want to make sure that we have a much more realistic number to work with instead of approving someone but not necessarily having the funds to complete the project.
Mhm.
Is that a question?
Just a slight question. The first 5 cost 187,900. That's slightly over 35,000 apiece.
That's the estimate. So they're not built yet. I'll tell you now, there was one home that we had to file an approval with the state for an increased amount of funding above that 35,000.
Okay,
And when you seek this approval from the state, you need to provide justification. And
Right.
so that is only approved if the state deems that for the health and safety of the home occupancy, that amount extra needs to be allocated for that. Otherwise, you cannot just,
stopping there.
yeah, no.
I get you there. So that makes sense now. Okay.
Yes, yeah. And then there are some who are less than 35. I think looking at my list here, there's one that is one of the ones that are above 90% complete. The work with that one was 20,000. So those numbers will go. They're not all the same.
Right.
And I think we try to be just with how we identify work to be completed. Like I said the other day or the other meeting, we're not going to put in chandeliers just to meet that 35,000.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's just what you need. You know.
I don't have a chandelier. I would feel left out if you were doing.
So we try to make sure that we cover the work that needs to be done.
Exactly.
Sure, great.
Electric windows, roofs, those kind of
Yeah.
basic. Okay.
Perfect.
Any other questions for that one?
No.
Nope.
And then we have the COVID-19 PPE stockpile grant. Last I updated was that the state was requesting that we complete our final drawdown and close out for that grant. We have submitted the final drawdown. Final drawdown is a reimbursement request for the self-test kits that we purchased earlier this year. We submitted the request, so the state is processing that, and they'll let us know, if giving us that fund back into the town's account.
And if they don't, just the town pays for it?
I will not say that because a big part of the delay, I don't know if you remember earlier, that I didn't want to just purchase the test kit
Right.
until we got confirmation that
Okay.
if we do that, it would meet the state's requirements. And so the hope is that, we have gone through the proper channels before securing any of the products. So I didn't use your language.
Marcel, do you know the amount for the final request that we submitted?
It was 8,800.
Okay. Thank you.
We recently also submitted a semi-annual report for that grant. They do require, once you submit your final payment request, that you submit your final report at the same time too. That's just detailing how the funds were spent and any other activity pertaining to this grant. So we submitted that to the state too. They also requested that we finalize the express closeout for this grant. So they want us to close out and be done with this grant so that as we move forward to future grants, that we do not have any grants open and then clearing.
Okay. So we're done with the 2021 COVID grant.
Everybody, we're all done with COVID except for Natalie.
Yeah, and my husband. We both came home with the gift of COVID.
Oh, my
Vacation,
God.
that's COVID.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you just wanted to be over there.
Uh, The good news is, thanks to vaccines, presumably, it's nothing more than a cold. I was sure I was going to test negative and was very surprised. I was like, oh, I have COVID. Okay. So, yeah. All right. Thank you, Marcia.
The Neighborhood Assistance Act program, I don't know if you watched town council meetings or council of the whole. We are moving along with that program application. That's due July 1st of this year. There are 3 organizations that are applying to participate in this program, and they're applying for a number close to 270,000. They're not applying together, obviously, but that's just the total that I just combined just to kind of show how much impact these funds could have in our community if these organizations are successful with business support. And I think that's been a challenge. Businesses either aren't aware or aren't interested in participating in this program, but if there are businesses out there and that are interested, it would really help some of these organizations. They communicated at the public hearing, and I think, Natalie, it wasn't this public hearing, it was a CDBG public hearing that you spoke at, right? I'll get to that point, But yes, these organizations are doing a lot in our community, and these funds will definitely go to good use if they are able to be successful.
Now the town's approved them, goes to the state to approve them, and then they get the okay to go out and find a matching donor.
Yes.
Okay.
And I know this is not the state language, but as I communicate with organizations, don't wait until that time. Yeah, if but be honest in your communication that you are applying to participate in this program, so that the companies at least know that you are working towards that, and it's not necessarily finalized yet, so that any communication or planning that needs to happen, that could go on in the back end. It's just that the formal documentation that needs to happen, on current and more accurate forms. The N001 form for the organizations, nonprofits that are applying, that one is published in March of each year. For the businesses that participate in purchasing these credits, their form is due mid-September, beginning of October, I believe, of each year. The state always says the dates will change, but that's just the range for organizations to understand.
Marshall, what are the 3 organizations that applied, just so we know?
TVCCA is applying for 64,000. Groton Public Schools applying for 141,000, and then the Riverfront Children's Center is applying for 65,000.
Okay. Thank you.
The 2024 community development grant application, as I communicated earlier, we're working on that application with Mystic River Homes. This year, the deadline was May 31st. However, the state pushed that date back to June 14th, which is this Friday, for local communities to finalize the application for this grant. We are working on all that documentation as we speak, hoping to get this done by Thursday and submit it. How the state operates with this grant is, I'm hearing in the past you have to drive it up to Hartford, but now I think we can do it electronically, and so we try to get everything sorted and submitted for that one.
Okay. And are we applying for a full 2 million? Is that what we're asking for? Yeah.
Yes, we are applying for 2 million. I'll go over some of the high level line items in the construction budget. We are gonna remove the existing hydraulic elevator, siding replacing, roof replacing, some interior work, kitchen is gonna have some work done. The laundry room, I believe laundry rooms, not just one, but HVAC is going to have some work done. Electrical work's also going to be completed, so it's a big list. The construction cost is estimated at 1.4 million, sorry. That's just the construction cost, not including all the other overhead costs and expenses that the project will incur.
Okay.
Any questions that I want? The Groton Community Conversations, just an update on that. We've had 4 sessions this past 6 months. They were greatly attended by members of the community. We had discussions pertaining to growth, change, and quality of life in Groton, shaping the future of Groton, housing in Groton, Civics 101 in Groton. We are looking at finalizing topics for the next 4 events that we're trying to host this fall. A big part of this community conversation is to try to meet the community where they are and, you know, encourage participation and hearing from people that we don't typically hear from. And so I think so far we have done well. We encourage people to attend. There's food at all these events, and so we try to ensure that at least we understand that people have lives outside of it, you know, dinner time most of the time. So we try to at least accommodate for that too. That's all I have. Thank you.
Yeah, the feedback I've heard on those community conversations has been very positive. People thought the programs were excellent. They learned a lot. I think it's a great thing that the town was doing. So has anybody else been able to watch one on YouTube or attend or heard anything? No. They're worth checking out sometime.
Then again, if maybe at our next meeting, if some of you can come up with ideas for future topics we can cover, that we encourage that too. I think a big part of it is not only what does our department think the community needs to talk about, but it's also what the community wants to talk about pertaining to planning and, you know, local government in that sense.
I think I watched the housing one. Yeah, I did. And housing is so desperate at this point with everything that's going on in town. And there's just no way to help them, because you can't just build a house to put somebody in when they're getting kicked out because some conglomerate bought their house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, it's a challenge, and I think to your point, it takes time, right? You know, and people need solutions now. You know, and you know, a lot of the, especially through the public process, it's not you're not able to just come in tomorrow and just, you know, build whatever. You have to go through proper channels when you're there. But I think the important thing is that as we need to have these conversations, kind of get this overall understanding so that we all kind of understand what the community challenges are and, you know, how we think we should address some of these challenges. Not only today, but, you know, looking into the future, the next 5 years, next 10 years, you know, our kids, our grandkids, what do we want them to, you know, to experience in this community?
And it depends what area of town you live in.
Yeah, there's that
exactly what problems you have.
I think another thing, Marshall, if they do another one, something to consider maybe around housing. When the conversations I hear from people out in the public and what I see on social media, you know, everybody's saying, oh, we need affordable housing, which we all know is true. But I think people don't understand that most developers aren't going to come along and say, oh, I'm going to build an affordable housing development, because it doesn't work financially for them.
Right.
Not only they can't make money, but they're going to lose money if they build affordable housing. And I don't think the public understands that. So I would encourage the town to think about a presentation or ways that the message that we hope explain to the public that for affordable housing to happen, the government, the federal government, the state government, towns a little bit, government needs to be making money available to developers to build affordable housing, or that's not going to happen. In any way we can help the public understand that, I think would be a really good thing. So.
And I think also the challenge too with how, policy and kind of research is going on around affordable housing development is that a lot of programs or funding is going out more so for developments that are not necessarily concentrating, right, affordable housing in one place. And so, there's those variables too, right? When you say affordable housing, do you want it all in one place? Do you want to spread it out throughout the city? You know what I mean? There's that kind of challenge too. And so for smaller towns, it's even much more challenging when there's not a lot, or land available to spread out. And so it's not that simple.
And there's a huge difference between affordable housing and low income housing. Huge difference.
That too, yeah.
And I am just as guilty as the next guy. When they opened up the end of my street, it was a dead end, and they built all those homes on the farm. I fought against it because they were putting in affordable housing.
Mm-hmm.
Those houses are so much better than mine.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, they were selling for like $140,000.
Yeah.
That was affordable at the time. But they are assessed twice what mine is.
When did this happen?
Where you moved in, Russ? How long you been
I
there?
moved in 2007.
So it was before that. Betty lived there. I don't know. The Wolf Farm on Nolan's Ledger Road, where all the big houses are. I live on Danny Brown, which is Valero.
Oh, yeah.
Move in
I live
there.
down the street from them, yeah.
Yeah, so all those new houses, the bigger houses, were all put in there. And I really thought about it because to me, affordable housing meant low income housing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that's the important conversations we need to be able to have.
I think that one is.
How do we, as from different perspectives, understand affordable housing to be, and what our biases, right? I might have my biases too here.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want the value of my house to go down.
Right.
When behold, they picked it up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. But almost a roundtable discussion.
Exactly.
A way to do a presentation to the public to help the public understand
Exactly.
these issues around housing.
Because with the housing that, the schools that the town is selling,
Mm-hmm.
they're asking for 10% affordable housing. If the housing development goes in on all future projects. Well, the developer that was there last night, there's already a contract. He's a new developer for an existing contract. But like he said, in this day and age, with the prices of the building material, the interest on loans, affordable housing is not in his wheelhouse right now.
Mm-hmm.
But he will do a study of Groton, an in-depth study of income in Groton, because he doesn't want to have 400 apartments sitting there. He is going to be the sole owner. He doesn't want them sitting there empty.
Right.
He's going to be able to rent them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a slippery slope, you know, he might not get what he's asking. He went anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500 a month.
Yeah,
He was doing studio apartments, 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom. So that tells you things are sky high today.
mhm.
Unfortunately, everything's sky high today. I mean, it's just,
Unfortunately,
you know, again, you know, being a contractor, developer, whatever you want to do, what's their bottom line? To make money,
right,
Right,
you know, and again, like everything else in the world nowadays, it has to trickle down and the bottom rung has to pay everything. So it's just, but you're absolutely right. You know, that I think that's the biggest, hurdle right now is that so many people are equating low-income housing with affordable housing,
right.
you know, and that's throwing those that don't want low-income housing in their areas to fight that. But they're also fighting the affordable housing one, because again, they put it into this big bowl, you know, like Halloween candy, and shook it up, and now this one is low income, this one's affordable housing, but we can't have it. You know, so.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's, and
okay.
again, how do we fix it?
God,
Education is the only thing I
Right,
can think of.
right,
I think that's what we're saying, at least is
Right.
a first step, a tiny
Yes.
step we can take is to keep
Right.
to educate.
right.
Yep. On
Right.
that note, we did a tour of Mystic River Homes before that some members of the committee were able to go to, but some people couldn't. How many people on the committee would be interested in sometime going and seeing Mystic River Homes? And you know, seeing the work that was done last time, having a sense of what the need or not. I'm just asking if that's something we want Marshall to set up.
No, I think I'm good with, I trust him.
Yeah, I trust the town. I do.
I
Also
do
love
trust
you.
the town.
Well, yeah, I mean, right.
If nothing gets down the wrong path, well, then they'll
Okay.
far out.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, Marie, I know you went to the Housing Authority.
I went to Mystic River Homes too.
You did, okay, I couldn't
I
remember.
was the congregate.
Okay, okay, great. Well, for Russell and Marge, have you visited the Housing Authority property and seen the newer units that they did there?
I've seen the outside of them. I haven't gone in and seen them. I've seen them online.
Yeah,
So yeah, I have actually seen what's there.
Yep.
And I do know that over at Groton Gardens, once they start there,
yep.
they are putting in some low-income housing.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
that's all really low income. That, I mean, it's
Yes.
a little bit affordable, goes into the affordable, but the Groton Housing Authority is much more focused on lower income.
Right.
But they are going actually families also.
Uh,
That's what they said.
the existing property isn't families, maybe some of the new units they're building.
Yeah, the new ones they're building.
They might be for some family. I
I
don't know.
think they said they were gonna put them in the back.
Behind the Jabez Smith house, behind Grasso Gardens, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep. Well, if you're ever over that way, stop in and say hi to Jamie in the office. And Jamie would show you, Maria and I saw some of the new units they did there, which were really impressive.
Really nice, yeah.
Yeah, so it's worth. Okay. Anything else for today?
We have no unfinished business. Anybody have any new business? That's no.
And our next meeting would normally be June, July, August, September. I was just looking at my calendar. What was?
September 18th,
September 18th. Thank you, Marie.
welcome.
Wow.
Does that date work?
Right on that.
I'm an assistant secretary. I thought I couldn't say
Does that date work for everybody, at least at this point in time? September 18th? Perfect. And by then, Marshall will know if we were approved for the CDBG grant. Is that true?
You
You know,
If in the
Maybe.
previous years, it's gone up to
maybe.
years.
And that's when,
Yeah. Can neither confirm nor deny.
okay. And that's,
No comment.
and that's when the businesses would be applying for the neighborhood assistance program, if there was a business willing to fund one of the 3 requests. Okay.
Yes.
So we should all keep our eyes and ears open and,
Yes, and if anybody knows the business, we could happily send, the Groton schools over to them,
yeah,
so
Yeah.
the town can get their money back.
have to keep that. Yep.
Have
I know,
money back if they get it.
You were reaching out to businesses, Marshall, more than we have in the past. Did you get much response to that effort?
It was through the regular mail. So, again, the challenge there is point of contact, having that contact person within somebody's organization
Right,
is a challenge from outside.
Sure, of course.
Especially these large organizations. They don't normally list the person's name who would be receiving this type of request.
Yeah.
So we've just sent out mail and flyers to businesses and hoping that that information will get to the right person.
okay, okay,
Then
Cool.
again, also we try not to influence any business.
right.
It's their decision if they want to
Yeah.
participate.
I understand you can't solicit, all you can do is offer information, yeah.
I just don't part of it. Who might be?
Okay,
Yes, that information we do give out to organizations that apply. Again, that information is not 100% accurate. It's just types of businesses that might be paying the type of tax. And so
Okay.
whether they really pay that tax, that business will communicate that with the organization.
right,
At least the start is listed.
okay.
Sounds like about it. We'll take a motion to adjourn.
I so moved.
Okay, we'll go Natalie, you want a second?
Second. Hope you feel better, Natalie.
Thank you, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi,
Okay. So that's unanimous.
great. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming.
Be well.
Thank you, thank you. I'll show you pictures of Ireland another time.